Go around. Claudio, talk to me about your doings.
So, as I understand, Spo is not interested at the moment in eating me. He's trying to get out. That's what you said.
If
Then,
yeah, if I'm not saying he's not going to eat you.
right, right. Just
let's
not
let's just
now.
let's just clarify that. You know.
Yeah, I'm just like dessert. Yes, I got it. But yeah, so I think my intention of talking to him is over at the moment. And it is replaced by a very more tribal intention of getting the fuck out. Which is uh maybe the first time that Washi would be feeling this since he got
Yeah, it's
here.
like I shall
Uh,
save everybody from this evil influence. Oh my god, it's big.
yeah, and now I'm like, fuck,
hmm
and this is just pure fear,
hmm
right? I look at the stairs where I came from. I don't care where they lead. Um, I hope he's not getting through them.
Yeah,
If
that's
he's getting through
exactly where he's
Spo's,
going. Is out the same way you came.
all right, so that might not be the best idea then. Then I'm going to play dead.
I have the absolutely, absolutely. Your frog playing dead pose is
Yeah,
fresh in my mind. So, good enough. You will attempt to hide. It's effectively a stealth move, right?
yeah, in the
So,
rubble or
right.
whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the need for a roll for that is not quite fresh in my mind yet. We may do a little more events and stuff before I think that it's roll worthy. Um,
Okay.
so, because things are a little dynamic and fast moving in this area right now. So, if Spo were like personally focused on you, then at the moment,
Yeah.
well, they
I'm
kind of
my
would.
objective is to wait until he gets out of the temple so
I
I
see.
can leave without being noticed.
Okay. Well, I was thinking though, you had contacted its mind, and you had
Hmm.
gone and tried to communicate with it. On reflection, Spo may have more of a personal interest in you than otherwise would have been the case. But we're going to
Deal
hold
with that
off on
later.
that just for a moment, not much later. So as you're playing dead, uh, it'll be a little while before you kind of open your eye and look around and see how your playing dead went. So we'll wait on that. Now, I believe Lorenzo, I wasn't quite, now that I think about it, I wasn't exactly clear now about how or what you plan on doing.
Hmm. Well, if things have gone south and uh, we are in this brawl, I think the best plan I can have right now, since the situation is going this way, is try to use the confusion to at least hide somewhere, running between the houses, try to reach the temple or at least the lake in some other way.
I see.
It's
Right. So you're basically going to go the one man route. Right. Okay.
Well, I'm going to try to look for Europe, but you said you
Well,
don't
that's
see
no,
it,
that's
so I
fine.
guess
That's can be part of your goal. We're going to try to find Urop, and
if I can find Europe, great.
mhm.
But I'm trying to be
and
smart
get right.
about
I get
this.
you. I get you. That's part of getting
Yeah,
out. So you're calling him out, calling
yeah,
out for his name, or looking around, and we have to get out of here. Sort of dialogue and things like that.
yeah.
Excellent. Well, you're roll worthy at this point. Manu, what are your thoughts? Bra is waves her hand and says, "Oh, let him go. They're just trinkets." You know, and is far more oriented toward this evil, fetid blast of air which has just rolled in. Um,
So I'm separating character knowledge from player knowledge, right? So like my character has no idea about this big snake, right? I mean, he doesn't know that what Washi is involved with, and that there's this big snake there, right?
Well,
Or
yes, effectively, although you have
Hmm.
had at least 3 2s thrown at your character, so the possibility of 2 of them coming together to make 4 is real. So
okay,
cut Bushi a little slack. He can put together,
okay,
you know, snake insignia, Spo grows. Spo's not a thing. They seem to think Spo
I
is a thing.
see.
I mean, it's nasty
Yeah,
snake smell. I mean, there's a lot of 2s, and all you need is 4. Any
gotcha.
of those put together will do. I'm not saying it's up to you whether he grabs a clue, but the clue is there to be grabbed. You're not going to have to roll for it if you want to say he gets it
Okay.
to some extent.
And this fetid smell, is there anything about it? Do I recognize any part of it?
It's
Is it smell
definitely
anything similar to?
it's definitely ophidian in nature. So
What's that mean?
it's a snake.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a big hint, isn't it? Um,
Oh,
um,
Like I
I'm
said,
gonna
it's not. Oh look, there's 4 of these. you know.
Okay, I'm going to respectfully bow to Bureau and say, um, I think we should get to a safer location where the giant snake that is coming will not be able to get us.
Spo is mightier than any snake. Spo comes to us all, and it will come to whatever creature or beast lurks in and defiles this temple. And strides forward, and all the attendants are now right. Remember, all the attendants are with her now, right? And they square their shoulders and they march forward as well.
I sigh and I'm like, well, it's my duty to protect the innocent. And I'm going to stride forward as well.
Excellent.
You have an
Well,
incredibly generous definition of innocent.
right now, so what you will discover is when you come to this area, Barrow is like, "What is this?" Right, this whole new area, and but it's rapidly easy to tell what's going on because there is an enormous number of reptilian coils filling a lot of this space, going around the pillars and stuff. So it's super cool if you look at the map, and the there seems to be a whole bunch of rubble, and this creature is looking at something in the rubble. There is something that Washi will realize for the first time upon opening your eyes to seeing how well the playing dead is going. And there is something that the people coming into that region will realize immediately, which is that this cobra, massive as it is, has 5 heads.
Hmm.
So the other thing about Washi's situation, I'm not overriding the business about hiding or playing dead. We have not yet resolved whether it thinks you're dead. But it was interested in you. So it didn't leave. So that's your situation. And so if you succeed in a roll and the narrator, whoever it is, wants to say, "Oh, it thinks you're dead," that's fine. But that's how we know. Among other things that the role may concern. Clearly, whether Barraw gets eaten. Clearly, depending on actions taken, who else is vulnerable to the predations of Spo, Washi being first on the list, and other such things all depend on what actions everybody takes at this time. So, what action would everyone take? I know about Tiru. We're ready for the roll on that. So pick your trait and everything. And the other 2, however, I want to know what actions are.
What is Tyr doing again?
Tiru
Can
is
you
back
repeat
at the
Lorenzo?
village trying to get out of the big brawl that has occurred, which is quite difficult at this time. And although there's no way he can just teleport to the temple, whether he is able to get there at all in due time is what we are rolling for ultimately.
I don't think there is any trait that makes sense. I mean, if I wasn't trying to find Europe, maybe wild and uncontrolled could help me by hopping. You know, I'm squishy, I'm kind of hard to restrain, but I'm trying to find Europe, so that doesn't really make sense.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll with my bonus dice and whatever it gives me.
Okay. Since nobody's specifically trying to get you, or if they are, they're not a dedicated effort. It's just individuals here and there. Although some of them would very much like to get you and slay you, as an example of what happens to spider spies. But it's not as hard as it could be, given all the melee going on. I think 2 dice is fine.
Okay.
It's not a cakewalk, but it's not the worst thing possible. Whereas with the other 2, well, we'll see. Again, things are a little confusing for Spo. There's a lot of different people, so it may not be as directly focused as it was a minute ago. So, Tiru. No, sorry, Bushi.
All right. So if I understand the situation correctly, there's like 4 of these heads are aggressively advancing towards Bureau.
The Spo at this time seems torn, or at least distracted between somebody that it has on the ground over there, and Bureau, who has very prominently stepped into position. It's got 5 heads, but it only has 1 body. And so, therefore, it's really going to focus in one place at a time. At the moment, you can tell that Spo is not yet quite poised for its direct target.
I am going to I'm going to basically step in front of Bureau and maybe to the side, basically, so that if any head comes, I'm going to try to strike it before it can reach it.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
Excellent. And so this is in our terms, and the fact that you're moving ahead at all in this map, basically putting you in range.
Right.
All right. And willingness to engage. So that leads us to Washi, and you can either just have the roll be about whether Spo thinks you're dead or not, or you could make a bigger interpretation and just fold that into... Okay, go ahead.
So, actually, I think I might be done playing dead if I realize that it's just looking for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been thinking this entire time what to do, and I'm still very undecided. Because it really looks like a situation I can't escape from, and I very well understand that you mean it that way, in that sense that this is really fucked. So I guess that I'm just reflecting aloud to figure it out. I guess the question is, what is really important here, right, for Washi? And I think he feels this imperative of stopping Paul, the snake, and he feels this imperative of protecting this, like, old frog that came into the temple. But, yeah, I guess I've answered myself. So, when I notice that somebody else is walking in, I switch from trying to play dead to try to distract the snake. And I hop out and I start running around the room trying to using my ninja techniques to distract him and make him essentially disappear, think that I disappeared and like move to a corner and then like do stuff like that. And my objective is to keep him away from Baru. And well, potentially from me, but mostly from Baru.
Is there anything
that's
that
what
you
I'm
would
doing.
do that would have any damaging potential?
Well, so I don't think of my character as like heavily armed, but I guess I would have some sort of nail or sword or something, and I guess I would use it. But I don't think that I can kill this thing. This is what I'm saying, right? So I guess if it gets close enough, I would stab it. But that's not what I'm rolling for.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
The good enough. Now, in that case, I think it is time for me to say that since the two of you are there, and clearly both occupying its attention, that each of you will get 2 dice. It is a very dangerous situation, but it is not as desperate as if you were alone facing this monster. So, and also, both of you are pretty oriented now physically. So, therefore, traits. I heard about the water wardens. I think is one, and then I also believe the protection of the innocent is another, is the trait in question, and then Lorenzo is rolling with no trait. So let's get some dice and let's see what happens.
I'm rolling 3 dice then.
Do you have any pool, Claudio?
No, I lost it in the previous roll,
Okay.
but I got a 1 here. So.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So, Manu.
So with your 2 gift dice and 1 from the Protect Innocent, that's 3. I'm going to go all in with my pool of 4.
Wow.
So that's
again, 7
again.
All right.
All right, here we go.
And this is a very dangerous situation for your characters.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, not again. Okay, so
1.
Lorenzo, did you
Oh,
succeed?
gross.
What's that? I need to hear Lorenzo's result.
Oh, I used 3 of my dice, so I'm rolling 5. And I get no ones.
Oh, goodness.
So,
All right. So, here is the phenomenon that occurs.
Can I MOV actually
Say again, please.
on this?
Yeah,
Can
of
I
course.
MOV
You
on
can,
this?
you can
In
do it. You
Monologue
can
of
do a
Victory?
monologue of victory, yes. But
Okay.
the two,
You need
I
to describe
also
the
have
outcome.
I also have a narration relative to Bushi, so our narrations
Mhm.
have to be compatible.
Okay, yeah.
And the way we do this may involve back and forth between us or not, depending on it.
Okay.
I think they're kind of integrated.
Mhm.
And I will begin with just the basics, which is that Bushi, perhaps distracted by, I'm sorry, the Spo, perhaps distracted by you bouncing around and so on, may be vulnerable to Bushi, but it doesn't work out, and Bushi is going to get bitten. But with all that known, now you just go right ahead and give me the monologue of victory.
Yeah, so unfortunately I can't prevent Bushi from getting bit because this dude has 5 heads, right? So but what I do is that there's all these columns, right? And actually start jumping around in a pattern that ends up creating a knot with a snake's body. And so at the end of it, the snake Spo will end up being in a very complicated not essentially like the various
I totally
the
get it.
various columns are the
You do
are the
understand
good
how
old and true.
powerful snakes' bodies are, right?
Yeah.
So snakes' bodies are extraordinarily muscular and powerful. So if he gets all knotted up the way you're describing, and if he gives a mighty squeeze to try to extricate himself,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm talking if right now, okay? I'm not narrating anything because this is your
Right.
narration.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Mhm.
Well, we could still get the fuck out. I mean, he's going to make the cavern crash on himself.
He could
So
well,
that's
is all I'm
okay.
saying. He could well. Mhm.
Yeah. So I think I'm still going to do that. And at the end of it, I leave him essentially trapped in this sort of shoelace
What
knot,
about but what
uh,
about the other people? What about Baroa and
which is
Teru?
what I was going to say.
Tell us.
Um, yeah, and I take them and immediately tell them to run to the exit and carry them to the exit and
Yeah.
essentially accompany them to the exit as fast as we can.
I definitely see you doing all of this in like long diagonal bounds. So,
Yes,
as
like you know,
Baroa is
like the
there in
shoelace.
like shocked theological horror, and as Bushi is like poison, right? The I'm perhaps narrating. I feel like I'm just footnoting your narration. So if I
Yeah,
go too
no, it's
far with
fine.
that, let me know. But I'm
No, it's
just
fine.
visualizing what I feel like I have heard, and so the two
Yeah.
of them, therefore, but a wiry arm each, right, from Washi seizes them and bounds out just as the room collapses down. Is that fair?
Okay, so the room does
Well,
collapse.
no, let's
That's
just
very
say it's
nice.
on its way. It's on its way. It's
It's on
definitely,
its way.
yeah, the snake is
Yeah.
knotted up as you say, and the potential for such a thing is real. So, okay. So, good enough. So, you guys have bounded out of there. Um,
Can I request a small, intro to ask just a question about the rules? Let's say that I did succeed and I picked my monologue of victory. Could I say something like, okay, in the confusion, Epus frees his feet and starts running, and a lot of people start chasing him? I mean, like
absolutely.
making decisions for other characters,
Sure.
you know?
I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
if we're working with the known, if
Mhm.
you're working with known material, and you don't suddenly say that that Epu is a master swordsman who chops off 10 people's heads,
Yeah, of
right?
course, of course.
And
Yeah.
if you're working with the known, that's what you're supposed to
No,
do.
it's.
Yeah,
I was just making sure.
absolutely.
Okay.
Because you're resolving the situation, the immediate problems of this
Yes.
situation you're in. But it's my job to narrate now for you, correct?
Yes.
And so,
Of course.
therefore, the only thing I'm sad to say, the only thing is that you that poor Urop is overcome, as well as the members of the Holy Squad, and that they're searching. That you've been seized, and they're searching you for any tokens of the spiders. Right? I mean, he's a spy. Check his, you know, see if he has any like spider marks or something. Right? So
Okay.
they're mauling you, and and Goosh is kind of gotten a little bit giddy and is something like, Barabo will bless us all in the name of Spo. We'll be safe from the spiders, he amends quickly. He obviously meant to say something else first. Um, and um, and little Goosh is looking up at his father, going, "You're the best, Dad." And there's
You'll froze for me.
okay.
Oh,
Oh, you
okay.
didn't hear. Little Goosh is saying to Goosh, "Oh, you're the best, Dad." So, um, so then we have the so basically it's bad. It's bad for Teru. You know, you're now
Mhm.
all three of you have been briefly, at least, you know, seized by the good people of Wambaroom, and it looks bad. They're, you know, some are saying, you know, kill the spy, and others are saying no, you know, Spo grows. Come on, let's go. So yes, you guys, guess what? You're going to the temple, just like you wanted,
Yeah.
almost.
It was
Right.
very
So-
frustrating and very long, but we're getting there.
Right.
Yes.
So yes, you are, and you and uh, Epu, you know, informs you, you know, as you go along. If you'd only let me talk about the lily to them properly, we would be fine. This is all your fault. So you get to listen to Epu's opinion, you know, all the way along.
Oh, great.
So
You know, in the pilgrimage's guide to two villages, I think Wambaroom is going to get 0 stars. Would not recommend.
I was going to think, you know, I hope that failure is going to kick hard, but I think this is going a bit too far.
okay,
That's not really fair.
right. Oh well, you know, I'm fond of a little insult along with the injury, and so let's see. You're quite battered, I will say as well. So
Yeah.
therefore, let's move on to the therefore the exit from that snaky area has been carried out. Baroa has come to her, you know, has made a proper realization that that's a big
Ron,
fucking snake, right? So go ahead.
Can I stop you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too
Oh
well,
no.
and I started like about an hour ago, and I was asking if we could actually stop
Okay.
for now and
Yeah.
pick back up next time.
That sounds
Because
good.
I'm really struggling
Okay. That's
continuing
perfectly
to
okay.
focus.
So I think we're closing on a
Yeah.
perfect note, though, because we've got the mob
Mhm.
bringing various victims. You know, probably other pilgrims have been dragged out, and you know, included, uh, being sent up sent up to the temple, and then you guys have emerged from the bad end of the temple into the main part of the temple, and you've got, you know, a wounded, perhaps perishing comrade. And that's that, I think.
Yeah.
So
I hope you guys feel
Just take
better
Venom.
soon.
yes, and Claudio,
I
you got to
end up-
die. You got to die
Well.
for. No, you took the monologue of victory, correct? Yeah.
No, I took the MOV. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So no die. Okay. Excellent. In that case, all of you are set, and maybe for the final run, you guys could use some words because it would be cool to
Yes.
look at your.
Yes,
it'd be
definitely
cool to
will
look at your
write
stuff. Yeah, at that point, and see where we're going, where we are going in.
But the one thing, I'm going to write my word, but now I have only 1 dice in my pool, so I can write my word, but no traits are going to.
Well,
come out of
let's
that, right?
clarify something. Underlining anything in your little paragraph is a trait. Just the underline. That's the trait.
Mhm.
The question is whether it is 0, +1,
Okay.
+2. Okay? So
Okay.
that's settled right there. Traits you
Okay.
get just by underlining things. The pool cost for giving it a bonus is the bonus you want squared.
Yes.
Therefore, if you want a +1, it is 1 die.
1.
So that is, I hope, clarifies all the
Yeah.
details.
I've
And-
got 0 at this point.
Well, yes, I know.
I have
But
1.
oh my God, that's right. All those 4 or those 3 or whatever they were, they just vanished. Oh,
So they're
right.
gone.
Okay. Well, this is great. I'm really quite enjoying this part. I will look forward to what may come of this soon. So, thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you guys.